Here are some ways to improve your security on a personal level. Develop empathy, more empathy. This will give you more security now. Really hear this. Develop more empathy. Put yourself in other people's shoes. Empathy is the habit of seeing things from another person's perspective. Develop the flexibility of caring about other people and listening to other people's perspectives and put yourself in their shoes. Because if you can't empathize with the experiences of other people, you can't empathize with yourself when you're going through similar situations. And if you can't empathize with yourself when you're going through situations, your confidence goes down, your security goes down. You need to be able to empathize with yourself and not criticize yourself and not be a self-critic. You need to have empathy for yourself. And the more you can develop empathy for other people, you can also turn it back and have empathy on yourself when you go into similar situations. So the name of the game is tune into other people and have compassion and empathy for them. See, we all create big messes in our lives. Anybody on here ever created a big old mess in your life? I have. But if we see ourselves in other people with compassion and learn from them or through them, through having compassion and empathy for them, we become more self-accepting. And more self-accepting, we become more masterful over time. Now, isn't that interesting? As we have more empathy for other people, in turn, we become more self-accepting when it comes to those situations in ourselves. And then with more self-acceptance, you're less critical of yourself. And then you have more mastery over time. Now, the other thing I would say how to support yourself and improve yourself is turn your failures into successes. Transform your failures. Because mentally and emotionally, secure people always turn failures into new possibilities. So anything that we're going through right now, see it as a new possibility. See if you can find new possibilities, new opportunities. See, people who are successful at getting through times like these, they recognize that failure is not a defeat. They can embrace breakdowns and they stay optimistic and enthusiastic all the way through it and learning in the process while they're succeeding. They don't panic, so don't panic. Develop some patience and some mindset for learning and looking for possibilities. A lot of you remember the hurdler, Lolo Jones. She was a sprinter and a hurdler in the Olympics, and she was #1 in the world. And about 5 yards before she finished her race, which she was leading and going to get the gold medal, she fell right before the finish line and did not even finish the race. #1 in the world, it was put years and years to getting to that moment. She failed to get the gold medal, but she was not defeated. In fact, she took that as an opportunity to work with other people. And she became a great spokesperson for people, especially for women, to overcome adversity. That became an opportunity for her to be a spokesperson. So her failure gave her an opportunity to turn it into something victorious for other people. It altered her life. And the other thing, you want to tame your critic. That little voice that's all negative, you've got to refuse to let it get the best of you. And you got to bring forth a positive vision, a positive thought. Even when that little rascal is going at it like big time on you, you just got to keep your eye peeled on something really positive. Tame that inner critic, because the internal critic can be ruthless, especially if it's not controlled. Most people's internal critic and internal criticism often lead to great insecurity. A victorious person tames their inner critic by listening for opportunities, by listening for possibilities and new choices that they can make. So you got to repurpose that inner critic and keep driving forward. Flip the script, flip the pattern. Switch from the negative and foreboding frame to a positive light frame. So when you see yourself going down that rabbit hole and criticizing yourself or criticizing something and really negative, turn it to a positive affirmation. And then turn that positive affirmation into a mantra.